Hey, glad you found us for our mini message today. Still in Exodus chapter 20. We spent a lot of time in this, but it is one of the foundational chapters in all of the Bible when we talk about the Ten Commandments. So God has given them the Ten Commandments, and now there is a request from the people after they have literally heard God say these things. Verse 19, saying, they said to Moses, you speak to us and we will listen, but don't let God speak directly to us or we will die. And you might think that Israel would have loved this dramatic experience of the voice of God and the presence of God, God's voice like a bullhorn from heaven, right? If they would have liked this. Instead, they wanted God to stop speaking to them. And I understand they were overcome by it. It was so much that they couldn't, deal with it. It was troubling. Israel struggled to hear and see so much from God, knowing His holiness and knowing how they were not, and they were so sinful. And this is really a common refrain across Scripture. In Isaiah chapter 6, with the call of Isaiah, when he came before the Lord and he saw God's presence in that vision in the temple in heaven, this train of His robe filling the temple, and there was smoke, and the angels were flying around singing, holy, holy, holy. How did he respond? He said, I'm going to die, for I'm a man of unclean lips, and I am in the presence of God. He was so overcome by the presence of God, he felt that God was just going to strike him dead because he was so unworthy. He was overcome. And I think that's how the Israelites were. They were overcome. Now, the people said, you speak to us and we will listen. And by inference, they not only were going to listen, they were going to obey. So basically, they're like, Moses, you go talk to God. Then you come back, you tell us, we'll listen, we'll apply. Okay, we'll do this. And they failed in that promise in both the short term and the long term, not just Moses, but with many other prophets that came, such as Ezekiel or Isaiah or Elijah or Elisha. These great men of God that came and spoke to them from the Lord, they couldn't listen to. So they wanted a go-between. And a go-between between them and the Father. And Moses fills that role for them. But at the end of the day, for us as Christians, it's Christ. The Son fills that role for us. He is our mediator. He is the one that does that for us. So I understand why the Israelites felt this way. I understand how it could be overwhelming to them. But they did, I think, with a right heart, want to be obedient. They just always struggled to follow through, just like us. See you later.